ONEKyhol tried to push out and do some damage there, but OpTiKzErO very well prepared for it. Got those robotics bays out and has been producing double immortal here. So an interesting choice to go ahead and get that robotics bay, but no Colossi. And now we are seeing that Dark Templar tech in the base of OpTiKzErO. So we might be seeing more Dark Templars, and that's really interesting as OpTiKzErO has used that every single map, and that is a little bit unusual for most players to go ahead and get that every single game. But it's going to be very, very useful as it will force ONEKyhol to really stay back and be on the defensive. And, that is a very, very interesting point to point out, as ONEKyhol will have to be in multiple places at once, and that is something Thors are not very good at doing at all. So now OpTiKzErO looking like he's going to feel very, very comfortable as this match grows on here. We are seeing 2 siege tanks being produced and that siege tech on the way as well. So I think at the next push he might actually have siege tech finished. And now we're seeing that Dark Shrine done, a couple of Colossi coming out. There comes one Dark Templar in, and really OpTiKzErO has quite a few of those pylons, so he's going to be moving in here trying to do as much damage as possible. You see that missile turret coming down for ONEKyhol. He is going to spot that observer and try and take it out as quickly as possible. That probe transfer just now occurring for OpTiKzErO, bringing all those probes up here. So taking a look at the income counting station, ONEKyhol a little bit ahead right now, but I think that's going to even out as soon as all these units come back here. Take a look at the unit counting station, still way ahead. OpTiKzErO way ahead in that unit counting station, just way behind in that income tab, in particular because he was transferring all those probes. So really, really interesting play. And here comes the Dark Templar for OpTiKzErO. He's going to be moving into the base here, trying to do as much damage as possible, but that missile turret is not going to make it friendly. Here it comes down, that missile turret chasing away this Dark Templar. So now OpTiKzErO has forced his opponent to move into this base, and he's going to force him to stay there with those with just those few Dark Templars, and he's going to take advantage of that by coming up and pushing up here. He might have a bit of a hard time. ONEKyhol really needs to siege up those tanks. If he does that, he's going to be able to wipe out this army no problem at all. And interesting choice here from OpTiKzErO, just chilling back here, getting as many of those Colossi out as possible. The range is finished, getting that Colossi charge, and now it looks like he's going to be able to do some damage here. He wants to move up, and that siege tank doing some damage, trying to take out as many units as possible. There they go, and forcing OpTiKzErO to back up those siege tanks, just doing a ton amount of damage. And now OpTiKzErO pushing up, gonna get a free Thor there. I don't know what ONEKyhol was thinking, but giving him a free Thor. I do want to point out though, OnEKyhol really does not have much at all around his base right now. If OpTiKzErO were to attack anywhere else other than that back door, it is going to be very hard to defend. OnEKyhol might be smart actually to push out here and do some damage. Taking a look at the army value, wow, actually OpTiKzErO has quite an advantage right now. 5 of those Colossi out and 3 immortals, so a really heavy army here for OpTiKzErO, and he's looking to do a lot of damage with that army. And here comes some Zealots, and that is exactly what he needs to do some damage. Zealots will be fantastic against this base up here, as they will be moving in, trying to do as much damage as possible. You see those Marines trying to shoot out the best that they can, and OnEKyhol really going to take some damage here. You see all those Zealots moving around, doing quite a bit of damage to the worker line, and here comes a push by OnEKyhol, that backup push. Here it comes, those Dark Templars doing a lot of damage, and now OnEKyhol pushing into the base. So both players looks like they are getting ready for a base trade here. All those Colossi shooting down those bunkers, and here's the attack from OnEKyhol, just moving in, doing as much damage as he possibly can, just taking out as many gateways, trying to reduce the number of unit producing structures that OpTiKzErO has, taking out a few of those gateways, and now the orbital command forced to lift off. So OpTiKzErO feeling very good. 40 drones ahead, and that is huge at this point in the game. It's huge any point in the game. And now OnEKyhol just looking to do a lot of damage. Would have liked to see him actually go after this particular Nexus, as it has a lot more workers on it. And here comes OpTiKzErO now continuing to put on the pressure with those Colossi. You see him just burning that orbital command, and those tanks are up on the high ground trying to do as much damage to those Colossi as possible. OpTiKzErO will be able to push in and do a ton of damage here, so a fantastic push by OpTiKzErO might end up ending this game. It looks like OnEKyhol is bringing back all of his units, trying to fend this push off, and I'm not sure that that was the correct play. Would have loved to see him just stick in here, do a lot of damage, and stay up on those expansions. You see now he's very far behind on those expansions. just has this one down. Those Zealots are able to harass it and keep it lifted up, and now OpTiKzErO is taking a huge advantage, getting a base up and really bringing it into the late game. That is going to be very hard for ONEKyhol to deal with. I would love to see how he ends up transitioning into dealing with this. Looks like another Dark Shrine coming down for OpTiKzErO. An interesting play, as we all know Dark Shrines come better in twos. Probably just throwing that down because he assumed he was going to lose all of these units in the mix, but instead did not lose it in waste of minerals there. That's okay though. We are going to be seeing ONEKyhol just move around the map, try and stay up on that on those upgrades. You see Stim now finishing, so that has been ONEKyhol's downfall actually in the last game, was that Stim was not finished. He really could have done a lot more damage, especially that Templar Archives with Stim finished. And really just looking to do as much damage as possible. We see a ton of Immortals out for OpTiKzErO right now. 3 and 2 more on the way, so 5 Immortals. And that's going to be very, very potent against this army. You see now only 10 Marines out for OpTiKzErO. And there we go. Oh, man, just barely escaping that. OpTiKzErO just now getting away from those Dark Templars. You see the engineering bay actually saw him, or excuse me, not the engineering bay, but the turret actually saw him, and here comes this one Dark Templar going to do tons of damage to this probe line, and that is going to be hard to deal with. Now ONEKyhol moving around the base, looks like he might be moving back to try and take care of that Dark Templar, but he's doing such a nice job. Taking a look at the unit counting station, 32 SCVs to 74 drones, so OpTiKzErO way ahead on the drone count, just now bringing in all of his units to deal with that one Dark Templar, and now OpTiKzErO is going to seize this opportunity and push up. It's going to be extremely hard for ONEKyhol to do any damage here. Looks like he's going to catch him a little bit out of position. None of these tanks are siege up, and OnEKyhol, or OpTiKzErO, just forcing ONEKyhol to be in the base here. And there goes down that missile turret, and he's just going to be pushing in here, doing a lot of damage. OnEKyhol operating off of one base right now, and that is huge to note, as OpTiKzErO is really operating off of a ton of bases. And here he comes, taking down this orbital command. Those Colossi pushing up here. Would love to see him push up and do tons of damage to this particular unit, but instead it looks like he's just going to be content doing as much damage as possible. And here comes the army of one OnEKyhol right now. So OpTiKzErO going to be a little bit frightened, but I think he will be able to take this. You see all those SCVs running around, taking a look at the unit counting station, 24 SCVs to 78 drones. So OpTiKzErO in a fantastic position now, just needs to push out, do as much damage as he can, and really melting those Colossi, or excuse me, those Thors very, very quickly. He's still got 3 Colossi out right now. Those tanks at the bottom for OnEKyhol doing a lot of damage, but not quite damage enough, as OpTiKzErO is continuing to put on some pressure here. Those tanks finally taking out all those every single one of those units. And you know, OpTiKzErO, interesting choice, no doubt. Oh, and look at that, doing a nice harass there, taking out that command center. So now OpTiKzErO in a fantastic position, way up on bases. OnEKyhol actually on his right now, so really, really interesting. And there's the GG from OnEKyhol, so calling the good game because he lost all of his bases. So wow, what a fantastic play from OpTiKzErO, and a good job using those Dark Templars to his advantage. Once again, guys, you have been watching SC2 Janitor Cast. If you're enjoying them, please go ahead and subscribe. I do appreciate all the feedback that you get. And don't forget, guys, send in your replays to sc2janitor@gmail.com. I'd love to look at them. Doesn't matter what race you are or what rank you are. If you're bronze, send them in. If you're silver, send them in. I'd love to get some replays from you guys and put them on the stream just for funs. And hope you all are enjoying it. So yeah, guys, be sure and stay tuned for Game 6, as OpTiKzErO has the lead now. So it'll be interesting to see how OnEKyhol responds.